Welcome to the Second Win Boxing Media. I'm your host, Rashid Hammond, and alongside
It's your boy Caesar Fantastic, and today got a question for you. Tank Davis getting called out by everybody. Shakur want to smoke. Tiafimo want to smoke. Haney, if he win, he want to smoke. So who we gonna see? Who you want him to see?
man, right now, after Kambosa and Haney fight, then I think that's when the deciding factors of who should want to fight who. Lopez, I think he should definitely put his name out there before they try to forget about him.
Yeah.
And definitely call out some peoples and redeem himself from the defeat that he had to Kambosa. So my opinion, I definitely think he should call them all before they push him under the rug and forget about that he was just recently just undisputed world champion. Because of course I see Kambosa is not interested in fighting him in a rematch no time soon. But Devin Haney pulled it out. I think Devin Haney and Tank will be a great blockbuster pay-per-view sellout fight. I also see even though we know what's going on with the war in Ukraine with
Lomachenko?
Lomachenko. How could I forget that man's name?
It's been a while.
Lomachenko definitely will be a blockbuster name of whoever he fights.
Big fight. That's a big fight.
But the first one, Tank and Devin Haney, will be a great one if Kambosa loses. If Kambosa wins, he should invite Tank over next. And if he beats Devin Haney and somehow miraculously beats Tank and have all them guys come over to Australia, definitely would be a great legacy, a Hall of Fame level performance if he was able to pull off such. But Lomachenko is definitely in there. So it's that weight class is serious, man.
It's me, man. It's deep. Yeah, and it's an interesting dynamic because if he goes on his own and promotes and books his own fights, then he can see all of them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's nothing holding him back, and the fact that I think he can follow Devin's path.
Yes,
in a sense, like Devin books his
Tank?
own. Yeah, Tank.
Yeah.
He can follow Devin's path in the sense of booking his own fights, and he has the say so to go and work with Bob Arum or whoever.
Right.
Even though he said he has no interest in being on the zone. He's sort of he's loyal to Showtime and Heyman and all those people. So. But the fact that he can work with whoever,
right,
and make those fights happen it's perfect. It's a perfect situation,
Totally agree, Sean. I think with if it was to boil down to a network situation, they might gonna have to cross networks like similar in the past to get it done. So if they can put Showtime and have the Zone or ESPN, whatever's necessary to make the fight happen has to happen. Because once it becomes undisputed, the elements change. The elements of the sport changes into the dynamics of this is the chance to say that I am the only world champion in this weight class. There's no equal. There's no one close to me. This is what I dominate because I have all the belts in one place. And that's what makes that 135 weight class that much more important to be in. It's more champions on that end.
Mm-hmm.
And now to be the only world champion amongst many world champions is a hell of an accomplishment.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot going on down there. And if Shakur if he dip his toes in that ring, boy,
Yeah. I mean, Shakur definitely should jump up in there at 35 and add himself and add more equity to it, as it is already plenty of equity in that weight
It's
class.
already deep. Yeah.
But to add more and bring more into it would be a wonderful idea. I think will be great for that. If they fight each other, like I said, you know me, you heard me say this many times, Sean. If they fight each other, that could be one of the greatest weight classes in this generation and many more.
Yeah, it could go down. I mean, it's hard to remember except the recent welterweight division, the division being so deep. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot going on down
It
at
is, man.
135,
And the
man.
welterweight division was strong. It was a strong division at one point. It's just the networks ruined it.
Yeah. Networks and promoters just wouldn't let people fight. It's like, come
Exactly.
on. There's so many fighters here that it's, man, if y'all let these dudes fight, they can really be legacies built
Exactly, man.
just through that era, you know. It's sad that it's almost forgotten, you know.
It is, man. And I hope this 35-pound. I don't think they're going to let it happen. That's why a lot of these guys are stalling contracts and with promoters and things of that nature because they chasing more. They want legacy.
Yeah.
You know, you got to look at it like this. You in a sport where, you know, everything's put on the line. You can't play it safe. This day and time is not the time to play things safe. Especially when you want to be recognized as one of the greatest of your generation and maybe the greatest of all times. Mm-hmm. And that requirement is adversity. You have to. How can I my definition of a world champion or a great legacy or a legend, and I'm talking international legend, is someone that has overcame adversity to rise to the top. There's no walk in the parks to become a legend amongst the international base. That's when you defeated everyone that was somebody. Not tomato cans, and you know, I hate to use that terminology because it's not a good one for boxing because they all are warriors, including the ones that you consider not one of the best they're warriors.
You step in that ring, you're a warrior
exactly.
Today.
Exactly, Sean. That's real, man.
Yeah. But I think go ahead.
No, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
No, I was saying I think that this is the era of fighters taking their power back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Knowing that, like, you can look at all the ex-fighters that's doing media now.
Yeah.
Look at all the ex-fighters who have started promoting, and look at all the current fighters who are controlling their own destiny, promoting their own fights now.
Right.
And it's getting bigger and bigger, and that's just boxers taking accountability for their own careers and their own lives, you know, and that's a beautiful scenario.
Wonderful, man. That's necessary, man. We got to get back into. It never was like that. Now, I'm glad that fighters are being that much braver to head in that direction to do such. Mm-hmm. It's going to. I mean, the 135-pound weight class should not let this opportunity, because the spotlight is now on them. You know, I mean, after watching Tank last week was a great fight. And let me say this. Excuse me. Let me say this. Add Rolly in that equation too. Yeah. Don't forget about the other gentleman that Gervanta fought before him, Cruz.
Oh yeah.
Those guys are amazing excellent fighters as well. You know, they'll make a great fight card on whoever they fight.
I want to see Rolly and Cruz fight. Actually,
that would be a good fight.
That'd be a good fight, man.
That'd be the clash. That'd be a great clash. But I wouldn't care who Rolly and Cruz, whoever they fight, would be a great fight as well because of these brothers, them guys bring it, man.
Yeah.
And add them in equations too. That's why that's a prime example to show you how prolific
Yeah.
the 135 weight class is.
Mhm.
It's definitely in my opinion the top in this era.
Yeah. Right now. Right now, yeah.
Only thing that keeps them that now 147 is still beast too because of the two
Top
top
dogs.
dogs in the pound for pound list, in my opinion. The winner of that is the number one pound for pound fighter between Crawford and Spence.
Easily.
So that's the only thing now. Whoever dominates this 135 pound weight class when the smoke clears can be considered one of the best pound for pound. They giving Spence and Crawford a run for their money.
For their money, yeah. But yeah, that's gonna be interesting because it's gonna depend on networks.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, it's
Yes.
gonna depend on networks and promoters and all that. Like, I don't know what could be done about that list and being able to legitimize that list. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because like it's crazy that networks and stuff have so much control over it. But I
Yeah, man.
totally agree with you that the winner of Earl Spence and Crawford will sit atop, and the whoever leads this division will be like right under him, 2 or 3, like
Yeah,
easily.
I agree, Sean. That just seems like because Spencer and we talking skill like now, pound for pound, the 135 weight class collectively has the, in my opinion, has the most talent. Now, the greatest of all boxing today is between Spence and Crawford, without question. I see that being no opposition in terms of experience, wisdom, boxing IQ. Just like if Floyd was still in boxing today, he wouldn't be that far. I mean, they wouldn't be that far from him in terms of being, what I'm saying, throwing them on the same list, because Crawford is definitely a very phenomenal boxer.
Skilled, very skilled.
Spence is a very technical,
yeah.
strategic fighter who knows how to break down his opponents round for round strategically, not just going on a just like improvisational. He's more technically breaking down his opponent strategically, all by strategy, all by plan, not by accident. Crawford, on the other hand, he takes away what the opponent gives him. He takes what the opponent gives him, and he creates his own fight plan as the fight goes. Those are two definite, dangerous combinations. One on the strategic side, one takes what you give him, and you combine those two, you talking about a wrecking house.
Yeah, that's crazy.
A wrecking house. Down the 135 pound weight class is a totally different breed of fighters who you take Tank, for instance. Tank breaks his opponent down round for round. He lets his opponent do what he does best, do what they do best, and he adjusts. That's what I've been noticing lately in his last fights, was the adjustment. Now in the Cruz fight, he boxed wonderful.
Yeah.
With the one hand, he boxed wonderful. I mean, see, he showed you he can outbox you, and he can win decisions. That Cruz fight, he showed you he knows how to win decisions.
He showed different wrinkles.
Different, yeah, exactly. Devin Haney. I know someone mentioned that when he got clipped the last fight that he had, that comes with boxing. You know, that can happen.
Everybody get hit.
Yeah. And what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna predict Devin Haney's future until after this fight. Once he wins this fight, then we can start talking Tank and all the other opponents. But this is the only thing that this man should be worrying about what's happening on Saturday.
That's a fact.
This is the only thing that should be on his mind, not trying to dominate. Because listen, Devin, this is if you're paying attention to this station, to this show, your only objective is to become undisputed. That now, once you do that, then you already reached total supremacy once you get all those belts. So you already one step away from reaching your ultimate goal. So it has to happen. In terms of Tank need to be trying to get there. His overall objective is to get to Devin. I have to make that fight next. Yeah. He has to want to make that fight next. Because that after that, the 135, I hear Leonard Elderby say Tank is the the man, which he is. Yeah. He is a pay-per-view draw. Yeah. But after Saturday, the man is whoever wins this fight. Yeah. Come Saturday night. That's the man. Up top.
Everybody, the man with all the belts sits up top.
Exactly. That's hold on one second. Yeah, that up top. So, I definitely have to put him in that category. But man, that's all our time, man, ladies and gentlemen.
To the next time.
Second win. Boxing Media. Peace.